Alright, hello again. So, we're talking about the one time I don't mute it. But, remember to keep in mind that just like men's arms will be a little longer, so on and so forth. Women's pelvises are larger, wider, longer. Men's chests are longer, wider, and so on. And that's pretty much it for bodies. So the next thing we will work on will probably be clothes, but I guess since I just started this video, I'll go over a little bit of children and adults and a little bit and elderly people, and then probably just a little over side views. Kids are relatively the same. They usually have thinner necks, smaller shoulders, very small. Their bodies are very small. I mean, it's really just like an adult, just smaller. They don't have much in the way of a gap between their legs, but I guess it's probably good if you put it in there because it makes them look a little maybe knobby-kneed, and that kind of gives them that nice, innocent kind of look. Feet, just kind of the same thing. And once you get good at this, you'll be able to just kind of come in and sketch this, and you'll usually, you can always go over things later, to see, if it's the right proportions, etc. The thing about children is that small boys and girls, their bodies really look pretty much the same. I mean, people will draw them differently or put them in different clothes, etc. and so forth, but if you take the same child body, and depending on how it's standing, obviously this probably looks like a bit of a male child because he's standing a little gruffly, but if you take the same body and put different clothes and hair and face on it, you'll probably be able to make it either male or female. Go figure. We were all the same once. Isn't that good enough? Right, and for elderly people, they start off pretty much the same, but the thing with them is especially for very elderly people, they're kind of hunched over, I suppose. So if you can, like, what I do is I just kind of draw their shoulders just as a curve, or even anybody hunched over, because backs get bad when you're older, etc. and so forth. Maybe necks are skinnier, thinner, and so on. People do get thinner as they age, so having kind of a they may not get thinner, but they will lose their shape. Women lose their figure, men lose their masculinity, and they go from looking like each other to looking completely different to looking a lot like each other again. It's just the way it goes. There's this. Their bodies won't move very much. Their legs will kind of come out and be kind of bent in then. So that's probably really bad drawing, but I'm really bad at drawing elderly people. I'm sorry. And here I am trying to tell you other people how to draw. Okay, and they will probably, stay pretty. They won't stand very tall, their arms will be a little crooked, or like their backs, and really you can't really tell in this, but their arms kind of hang, or they're kind of bent. Some people have problems with arthritis, etc. But really the real thing where you can tell it is from the side view. So men, usually will have a straighter back. And their arms will be about here. You don't really see the shoulders from the side view, well, depending on the angle, but so you can just kind of, just kind of maybe draw a little shape showing where it is, etc., or so on. And it's really just drawn, and just draw like a circle or the square, the rectangle you use over here, and just pretty much mimic it over here, just make it smaller. And then remember the S shape with the legs. There's the knee and etc. That's pretty much it. And just remember everything with the proportions. And one thing that I just did kind of wonky, but people's arms will usually come out here and they will bend forward a little bit. It's just a nice relaxed gesture people get when they stand up. So it's very relaxed, notice he looks, people, like I just done, if you're not very relaxed, your head is, back, and your neck is pretty straight, and your shoulders are back, and they're straight, your arms are straight down, and your chest is a bit puffed out because your back is straight, and you're standing very rigidly, and it's not very fun to stand like that for a long time, is it? No, it's not. My camera get blurry again. Strange. Huh. Here we go. Alright, and so that's really it. Just keep that in mind. If you want somebody to look very relaxed, women, their bodies maybe tend to sway a little more. Women, their pelvises jut out. They got this nice little curve in the back. If they're in shape, and they will kind of got a flat tummy, and then it curves in, and that's their pelvis. That's why their bums stick out when men's don't, because men have very flat bums. And so that's their pelvis, and that's the bone, and that's everything right there. And that's why it sticks out like that. And with men, you can probably see where their bum is, and women, maybe, depending on how they're standing. Sometimes you won't. And remember, shoulder is back, arm is relaxed at the side. Very casual. And depending on the type and body shape of person you're trying to portray, it may look a bit different. Chest size will be a bit more evident to see how large or small it is when in profile. Remember, women can stand up straight too, and so shoulders back and straight, and arm is straight, chest juts out a little bit more, and the stomach comes out more. So just keep that in mind. Remember to give your people natural looks in profile. Oh, and the last thing, really quick, I wanted to go over was elderly people will, their necks come back more because their backs will hunch. And they really will do this kind of snakish, it makes me think of a cobra when I draw it. And their arms will kind of, just kind of hang here, and it's just how old people get. I mean, these are really old people. Not so old people, probably not so much, but it will happen, their backs just kind of go that way. And the further their backs go out, the more their shoulders come forward. And the more you are hunched over, the more your shoulders curve in towards your chest. And that's just something to remember. Those are bodies, and next we will probably jump up on clothes. Yay!